All right. Welcome to our sixth session in the I Found My Place Facebook Spotlight series. And just to give you some context, Place Inc. is an industry disrupting partnership platform founded by Ben Kinney and Chris Suarez, such that the partners who plug into that platform create really big businesses while living experiential lives. We're about growth. We're about development, we're about leadership, talent, and really providing multiple wealth building options for our partners through a wide array of services designed to really give our partners leverage, unlimited opportunity, and connection to a community of business and thought leaders. So these Facebook Lives are really to spotlight some of those incredible business leaders. And today, we're going to be talking with mega expansion leader, Adelina Rotar, who leads an incredibly productive team based in Austin, Texas. To give you an idea, this year, Adelina's team will end the year with nearly $3 million in closed gross commission. And I did say 3 million. There are not many teams playing the game at that level, guys. And what's truly astounding about Adelina and her leadership is that she has attained MREA status in a very short period of time. What's even more amazing, though, is her team is sticky. And what I mean by that is people stay and create incredible wealth and opportunity for themselves through partnering with her. So I'm not going to tell Adelina's story for her. So let me just give Adelina the floor, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks, Katie. Thanks for having me here. I'm based in Austin, Texas. So anytime anyone wants to visit, once COVID is up, please come see us. Originally, I'm from Eastern Europe, country named Romania, and it's got Hungary on the west and Ukraine on the north and the Black Sea on the south side, and beautiful country. Except, there was communism, that little thing. And so we got to immigrate when I was small. I was 4 years old. So I actually got to grow up in a really lovely city, a small city, Knoxville, Tennessee. And I want to share kind of like my quick journey, just because oftentimes people look, and I've done the same, I look at someone and they're like, how will I ever get there? And my husband always jokes like 15-year overnight success, right? And so I get to do everything I get to do because someone introduced me to real estate. And it was actually not as a sales agent, it was as a receptionist in a real estate company. And so no matter where you are and where you're starting, the path in this industry is amazing. So I started as a receptionist when I was 16 years old. I was obviously still going to school. So when the office manager quit, I wanted to be the office manager. I like forward movement. And they were crazy enough to believe that a 16-year-old could do it. I don't know what was wrong with them. I am grateful to them to this day. And I hired somebody to be the receptionist while I was at school. And then from 12 to 6, I supported the agents. And then I came back and did it Saturday and Sunday too. So like 7 days a week, definitely built work ethic during that time. Got licensed as soon as I graduated in 2005. And although I didn't grow up in this business world, business mentality, like my family is definitely blue collar, definitely works really hard, definitely immigrant, right? And what happened is when I was around these people, and why I believe it's so important to be surrounded by amazing people who lift you up, is when I was around them, I had this thing ignited in me, and I just realized I loved business. I loved everything about it. And I found out I was really good at it. I made really good decisions. I could get other people to follow me. So it's kind of like, growing up, I wanted to be like the president and also a teacher. And I feel like today I get to do a little bit of both. Like today I get to teach a little bit, right, via Facebook Live. And it's very exciting. So between 2005 and 2013, guys, I was just what I would call normal, having my normal life. And it was a good life. Definitely got married. We have our 14th year anniversary coming up, and had a couple babies, and they're now, turned into teenagers, and there's all sorts of fun stuff with that. I built a team. I built one of the top teams in my city, got involved in the things that matter to me. I was a director on the board of directors. And so, just did a lot of life in my 20s. And that really set me up to be able to take the next opportunity. So if you're in your 20s or 30s, like definitely don't waste those years. They're definitely career capital building years. In 2014 and 2015, I got an awesome opportunity. And that opportunity was to be a Keller Williams team leader. And I got to have that opportunity with one of like the icons of Keller Williams, Mo Anderson. And I worked a lot. I learned a lot. I got to grow my leadership. But on top of that, I think what's important is I learned what growth meant. And I'm going to share just a quick little story on growth. I remember I was sitting in Mo's house on her sofa. It's a very nice sofa. And this was before I was hired. So, you know, I wanted to say the right things, very much so. And she said, "Darling, do you know the number one job of a team leader?" And if you know Keller Williams, you know she is the heartbeat of our company and she is the cultural icon of our company. So I said, culture. Culture is the number one job of a team leader. And she said, "No. The number one job of a team leader is growth." And I swear to you, at that point, I realized, and from that point on, that growth drives everything. Growth drives productivity. Productivity drives culture. And so I've run my business that way since learning that lesson. So when I moved to Austin in 2015, I had this crazy vision of having 1,000 agents in Texas. And it sounds crazy to me. If it sounds crazy to you, it still sounds crazy to me. But it's a placeholder, guys. It's not like this thing where I've got to have 1,000 agents. It's a placeholder that means being the best that we can be together. And Ben and I partnered back when Ben was still in Washington State and we didn't have Benkeny teams and place teams all over the place. He was just in Washington and I was over here in Austin. And we decided that what we wanted to do, we could do faster together. And so we were committed to seeing, can we prove that everything that's worked in Washington would work in Austin, Texas? And so Austin, Texas became the proof of concept, and it was very exciting. In 2016, we launched in January with really incredible people. And we built, you know, the largest startup, and it was incredible. Since then, we've expanded 4 more times. We have Sarissa in DFW, and we've got Laura in Midland, and Jordan also in DFW. Brandon from my Austin team actually started our San Antonio team, and Amanda and Spencer are starting our Dripping Springs team. So it's really exciting. I wear 2 hats now, and I love wearing those hats. 80% of my time is spent with my Austin team, and then 20% of my time is spent with our Texas teams, because what we found is what works in Austin works in Dallas, and what works in Dallas works in Midland, and so forth. And creating those synergies between the cities and our people and the referrals that come from it has been really fun. So lots of production. Obviously, Austin's had about 250 units this year, 63 million. And we have a sales force of 18, so we have a well-developed sales force. The Texas region has 575 units, 175 million closed, and we have a large sales force, 58 agents there. So it's gone from like a little baby to, you know, a bigger baby, and it's been fun. So we'd like to get that big baby to like adulthood. And what that looks like for me specifically in Austin is my vision is that we would have 1,000 units sold in 2023. And that would be about 400 million in volume. With that, because we give back to our community, we'd like to give $500,000 back to our community. But what I love about that goal is that it takes a really, really special team to do it. And these are the kinds of people that are already on my team. Like, they exist already here. So I want to do it for them. And then also, there are other people that can join us that are like my people to help us get there. So I'm really excited about getting those internally driven people, right? People who put people first truly with us, and who have that insane work ethic that we all have on this call. So I think about what you said, Katie, and our team is sticky, right? And 12 of my people have been with me 3 or more years. And what I believe that I need to do is provide continual opportunity for my people. So we can't play small. We are really excited about business growth because it does provide opportunities for our people. So that's kind of what's been going on here in a nutshell in the last 5 years.
That is awesome. Excuse the ringing in the background. Okay, there's a couple things I want to pull out of your story, which I think are just absolutely incredible. Number one being you had a stiff work ethic at a very young age, which is absolutely incredible. And you've carried that through, evidenced by the huge growth that you've amassed in the Texas area. And I'm just curious, because with the sticky team and this goal of 1,000 units, who are you looking to partner with in the future? Like if there's an agent on the call or watching this video that your story really speaks to and they want to join your team, what characteristics would they need to exhibit to make the cut?
That's a good question. And I love what you said, because I think you mentioned the word time. And something that's really important to me is proven track record of someone who's willing to do the work, right? It doesn't have to be in real estate. I mean, it is, you can have a proven track record as an awesome mom, right? Like, so I am really committed to people who have a proven track record in something. And because what people think about real estate as, you know, showing houses and, you know, like 1% of it is that. But it is a business. It's entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship is hard, and it takes emotional maturity, and it takes a commitment to self-mastery for yourself. So I do look for people who have that proven path of a track record. And then, you know, I mean, we definitely are looking in Austin and San Antonio, Dallas, Midland, I mean, McAllen, like everywhere there's a place team, we're always looking for talent, right? And so the last thing that I think about is it's not necessarily about making the cut, right? Like, you know, although it's very exciting when somebody does make the cut to join our teams, I think of it like, where are they going and where are we going? And is there a match where we can align and go there together? Because that's really what happened with Ben and I, right? I was going somewhere, he was going somewhere. They were going to be the same place. Let's do it together, faster and better, and have a better quality of life. So that's what I'm actually looking for. It's a very, like, there's not a checkbox.
Which is beautiful. And I, of course, love the place reference. It's the same place. And at the end of the day, I feel like what you're saying is that when vision and values align and that preferred future is similar, or we're all moving in that same direction, then a partnership can occur.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. Better than what I
Adelina, I mean, most teams, especially at the size that you're at, have a bit of a high turnover rate. So the fact that you have 12 plus people who have been on your team longer than 3 years really says something. What do you feel like is the main reason that they've stayed so long?
That's a good question. I don't think that I don't think there's a checkbox. I don't think there's like a magic answer. What comes to mind is speed of the leader, speed of the pack. And what I mean is that I really truly believe that no one is self-made and no one succeeds alone. Like, it is a deep belief of mine. And I think I attract people who want to build this amazing career while not giving up an amazing life, right? An amazing personal life. There's nothing sadder than having one part of your life be amazing and another part of your life completely crashing and burning, right? And so I believe both really matter. And so then from there, I just make every business decision to increase the potential for my people, for an increase in income or an increase in their quality of life. So I think my people really trust that I do that. I say what I'm going to, I do what I say I'm going to do. But I think on top of that, I have a mindset every day that I wake up with, and it is that I wake up and my goal is to earn the right to be their leader every day. I don't take for granted their loyalty. I don't take for granted how long they've been here. I don't take for granted yesterday. Like, today is a new day, and just like they wake up every day unemployed, I wake up the same way, wanting to earn their trust and the right to be their leader.
You are a powerful and have earned the right to be braggadocious, and yet you come with such a humble spirit, earning the right to be their leader. Man, that speaks to me. It stirs my soul. That's amazing, Adelina. I love that attitude and that overlay. So I'm going to ask you to put your modesty in your back pocket and tell me, what's one system that you guys are really nailing, and what results has it produced for you so far?
I have a few. So I'm going to give you three really quick. Number one, what we're really nailing right now is our price point. We set a goal that we wanted to increase our price point by 20% this year. And you know, the market everywhere is on fire, right? So, you know, part of it is definitely like some increase from there, but that's not enough. Like, we don't want to ride on just what the market's doing. We want to like positively impact it. And so I'm really excited that Q1, we were at 280,000 as our average price point, and Q3, right now that we're ending, we're at 355,000. That's a 27% price increase. It means that our agents are winning at a higher level, and I'm super excited for that. Speaking of agents, number two thing is our new agents. Our new agents are taking listings. I believe that we are a listing team. It's like a store with inventory, and we want to have inventory. And so a third of our listings this year that we've taken, and we've taken a lot of them, like over 100 in Austin, a third of our listings are taken by our newer agents. And that is kudos to Casey, who's our productivity coach in Austin, and Brandon, who is our team leader in San Antonio. They are just running the plays and getting our agents into production, the kind of production that I've envisioned. And I'm really excited about new listings. And then the last thing is culture. Obviously, since we have a pretty sticky team, we have great culture. And one of the things that I always thought that might help everyone listening is, I thought perks and culture were the same. And perks are all the fun stuff that you get to do, like the happy hours and bring your dog to work day, champagne Friday, you know, millionaire dinners. Like, that's a perk, right? And those are great perks. But culture is doing what you said you were going to do. Culture is always playing above the line. Culture is growth. So I feel like we're doing culture really, really well. So we can definitely have like a different conversation on like strategies for all of that. But one thing that Ben says often that I feel like it's now mine, because I've said it as often as him probably, is let's get really good at who we are, right? We don't have to be like the team next door. I don't have to be like my neighbor. There's nobody I have to keep up with. Like, let's be really good at who we are. And who we are in Austin, we're a high service, high touch team, and we specialize in working with sellers. And we operate like a Super Bowl team, like a Super Bowl winning team over and over. And we treat each other like family. So that's who we are in a nutshell.
Oh my gosh. Couple things there. I mean, the fact that the investment that you're choosing to make in your new agent is causing an increase in listings taken is massive, because a lot of agents, right, start out with buyers and work their way up, but they're brand new taking listings on your team. That's massive. And then I love what you said about culture and being good. And it's so authentic, right? Let's get good at who we are. That is fantastic. It's very authentic. You're not trying to be anybody else. You're being very authentically you. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's a comfort level in being who you are, right? There is, I think about like it, a good way of saying it is, when you're comfortable with who you are, like everything works for you, right? But when you're constantly trying to be everybody else, like nothing really works for you. So I feel really excited about who we are. We're a listing team. Great. And we like to win. Awesome. And we treat each other like family. Great. It really kind of paints the picture of who would be a great fit for you.
For sure. And you work hard. Speed of the leader, speed of the pack.
Yeah.
So what's the main reason that you are excited to work with Place Inc?
So I love business building, and I believe businesses are built through people. So I actually came to Keller Williams in 2011 in order to build a big business. Like that is what actually attracted me to Keller Williams. Otherwise, I was with the number one company already in Knoxville. Like I didn't need to make a change, but I wanted to do more of what I loved. And the reason that I partnered with Ben specifically was to save 15 years of my life, right? And that sounds a little weird because I was like, I don't know, 29, like I was still like fairly young. I think I'm still young now. My kids don't think so, but but 15 years is a long time. And so what it means to me is that I get to do all the things that I envisioned I would build because he was already deep into building it. And it allowed me to have the best of both worlds. Like I am at every game, I am at every event. I get to do kind of a lot of the fun stuff in life that you would normally miss when you're trying to do it all. And so the vision of Place, originally I came on with Ben, right? And what I love about all of this is the things we were talking about 5-6 years ago, like have happened, right? I know I partnered with the right person, and it's just gotten better. And so I love working with everyone here because above all else, this is all built on a foundation of trust, I believe, because we do what we say we're going to do. We deliver on our promises. And I don't think that that's something that a lot of people do. And it's not because they're bad people, like nobody's a bad person. It's just to have the infrastructure to be able to deliver on your promises is a big thing. And I love that we've been able to do that. So for our agents, it's being able to get them into production faster, develop that expert level client care through our proven systems and processes that guarantee success. And I love our business model for our agents specifically. What I mean is those 12 agents who have been with me 3 or more years, Katie, they can build a business as big as they want, like quite literally. I have agents who have assistants and showing partners, and we're launching healthcare, we're launching revenue share, the ability to invest in our mortgage companies and our title companies. Like these are all the things that people work lifetimes for. And my agents, not only are they special human beings to be on our team, but they could have the most special life in our world because our world is just ridiculously huge, that whatever slice they want is all theirs. So that's what it's looked like for me.
Ah, awesome. I love it. There's nothing I don't love about everything that you just said. And again, your heart as a leader shines out because you're most excited about the lives that your people can build for themselves. That is just awesome. Let's talk about change a little bit, right? Some might think change is pain. And what's the biggest change that you made after committing to the partnership?
Okay, so this was not as fun. So when we had all of the best intentions, just like everyone else always does, right? And so we were so excited. We took everything that was working in Washington because it was working, obviously. And we started doing everything, all the systems and processes and training activities in Austin. And for all of that hard work, Katie, we closed 8 homes in our first 6 months, and it was just it was terrible. So typically, what would happen in my past life is I would say this isn't working. I've made the wrong choice, right? And what I've learned is change is important, right? We had to just change a little bit of what we were doing. Like everything that Ben had was great. We had to change it slightly for our market. And so what that looked like is, we had to have a higher volume of activity because this was a really highly competitive town. And so when we adjusted, we closed 92 units the second half of the year, right? So oftentimes those small tweaks are really important. Like, don't give up before you have made tweaks. And the second thing that I think I really changed for myself personally was Ben talks about this thing called the danger of autonomy, right? And I was so very proud of my autonomy, because I mean, like, that is like, somebody should get me a shirt that says like how autonomous and how awesome I was at just doing it, right? Because I do have that work ethic, and autonomy isn't always good, right? It leads to a lid on what you're able to achieve. And it might be a high lid, right? But it is a lid. And so one of my coaches, he would say to me, Adelina, think of this like a theater production. You're a great lead, but there's a lot of power in learning to work with a supporting cast. And so working together is something that I've learned, how to work together really well with people, because everyone has a talent and you can do so much more, so much faster when you work with everyone together. And then last thing is the word partnership. I feel like, at least my friends are a little bit allergic to the word partnership. Your friends might be, of a different opinion, but my friends are like, really, do you need a partnership? Like, you can do this on your own, that sort of thing. Right. And one of the changes obviously was I chose a partnership. I did not choose to do this alone. And I really like numbers. If you've met me, you probably know I love data and I love numbers. So I do think of it as, 100% of 100,000 is 100,000, and that is a lot of money, but 5% of a billion is 50 million. And so the right partnerships allow us to scale our business further than we'd ever be able to do alone. And when you say that I got to do it in a short amount of time, it's because I had all of this to do it in a short amount of time.
Man, that is huge. So the autonomous Wonder Woman submitted to the joys of partnership and caused massive growth. That is awesome. Oh, I love that story. Thank you for being so transparent and vulnerable and sharing that. Final question, I promise, and then I'll stop. How has being partners with Ben, with Chris, with Place Inc. really helped you enhance your experiential life?
Ultimately, I get to do what I really like every day. Like, and I think everyone should really get real with themselves and figure out what they really like to do and then do more of it. I love working on obstacles and strategies, and I love building machines. I love allocating resources and holding those accountable. I love driving like systems and structure and processes and driving that culture. Like, I love being able to do all of that so that my agents can serve our community, and get to do what they are really good at. So obviously I get to professionally live my experiential life. There's a quote that really sums it up for me, and I'm going to read it to you guys. You can find it. It's by James Michener. And the quote is, "The master in the art of living makes little distinction between his work and his play, his labor and his leisure, his mind and his body, his information and his recreation, his love and his religion. He hardly knows which is which. He simply pursues his vision of excellence at whatever he does, leaving others to decide whether he is working or playing. To him, he's always doing both." And I love that because my version of an experiential life includes that my people get to live their experiential life. I have like these like weird two extremes. I'm like this capitalistic person who puts in the time and then wants a return on her time. And then I am a very caring person. Like, everything has to work for my people or it's a no-go. So I love the things that make my life experiential when it comes to my people. Like, when they become homeowners, like that brings me joy. When they are paying off their debt, when they are building a life that they're proud of, those things fill my cup. And so it comes down to being the best version of myself and inspiring others to have that same courage to do things that, you know, maybe aren't being done, like partnering, so that they get to live up to their full capability, to their full potential. And it's been fun. It's my version of experiential life, and I love it.
You are an amazing leader. I cannot thank you enough or express enough gratitude for you spending this half an hour with me and sharing so much of yourself and your story. I feel like I know you even better now, and I'm so grateful. I hope everybody listening took some of these powerful nuggets or take some of these powerful nuggets to implement in their own world and their own life. Adelina Rotar, you're an amazing individual. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Katie.
My pleasure.